right, so this is Horribly Hooched. I am Bacchus,
Romulus.
and we're sitting down with the wonderful, beautiful Chanel Ryan. How are you today?
I'm fabulous. I just actually walked in the door moments ago from filming Love Addict today.
I know you wrapped it, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I am a small part, so I only shot for a few days. So yes, today was my final day.
Well, congratulations.
Great. That's awesome.
It's one of the many fucking incredibly exciting things we've seen you got your hands in right now. I mean, you've got over 50 titles under your belt. I mean, ignoring, of course, the modeling career before you started this. You've got... Am I reading this right?
I don't know. It's amazing the amount of stuff you've got going in, like either in pre
Two titles
or post. It's just
2 titles in post-production, 4 titles actively filming. Well, 3 now, right? Because Love Addict's done.
Yeah.
5 titles in production.
Actually, I have more things actively filming. They're just not posted yet.
Oh shit! Jeez. Who are you? Are you Wonder Woman? What the hell is going on? How can you do all this stuff at one time?
I don't sleep, and I don't have a life at this moment in time.
Well, this is
Really,
a
you really want to know?
This is a respect because I
and a big shout out to your boyfriend putting up with that.
He's not thrilled with me because I've been working a little too much lately.
No, I mean works good. Works very good.
It is.
And
You're pushing.
The one thing we're super excited about, I mean, not the one thing. I mean, we just saw you in Alice D, which was phenomenal.
I have not seen that yet.
You haven't seen it?
No, I was filming Mind Puppets in New Orleans when Love Addict happened. And so I missed the premiere for that, and I've heard it's cool, and...
It was very well received, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm told, and I'm told it's shot really beautiful, the performances are good.
Cinematography is just on point. Performances are through the roof. Sound design, everything about it. It's atmospherically a fantastic piece.
Go Jess!
Yes, Jessica Sonneborn, for all those that you don't know. I'll link the review in the comments. But what we really want to talk about is Circus of the Dead with Billy Bloody Bill Pond as the director.
Billy Pond, yeah, the maniacal genius. Bill
So-
Oberst Jr. was phenomenal. I always say he was wickedly good in that. He was just amazing.
Well, we've heard some amazing things about Bill Oberst, period.
I really believe he is one of the most underrated actors. He's so talented and such a nice guy.
He seems very method as well. Like, he really gets into the skin of his characters.
He took Meisner to a whole different level.
I'm not sure what his method is or isn't. I'll just say he is a really amazing actor, wonderful to work with, a nice guy. It's funny because we've got some brutal scenes together. And he would apologize. Chanel, I'm really sorry. I just want to apologize. I'm really sorry for this. And then as soon as we're done, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm good. Do it harder next time. Yeah.
Often you hear that?
Really
No, not very really. It's nuts.
Well, we'll take that not out of context.
Yes. No, yes. Insert foot in mouth.
So you were, I believe, you were a part of a married couple for Circus of the Dead, alongside Bill Oberst?
Yes, I am. It's myself, Bill Oberst Jr., and Parrish Randall. Bleh, I can't even talk. Parrish Randall plays my husband, Don. We have 2 children. It's hard because what I can tell you without giving...
Please don't.
No spoilers.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I can't without giving the film away.
Well, let's talk about the experience then. Like, what it was like filming, what Billy Pond was like as a director. Let's start with that.
Billy Pond is a maniacal genius. I always say he goes from a teddy bear to a grizzly bear. It was really fun filming with him. He definitely has a strong vision, and I have so much respect for him because he does not care what people think. He just has in his head the vision and what he wants to accomplish, and he just goes for it. The film is unapologetically gory and brutal. So much so we had the East Coast premiere in Atlantic City at Bazaar AC, and I'm from Pennsylvania originally. So my family all wanted to come out, and it's not necessarily like a family kind of a film. And I sort of said, maybe you want to see Bad Kids when it comes out. It's more, you know what I mean? If you're not like a really hardcore horror enthusiast, it's not for the faint of heart. And there's some stuff that goes on in there that I'm like, oh.
Thank you, because that's what's needed right now.
Yeah.
And that's what we're desperate for.
Yeah. And that's what
it's getting a lot of attention. In fact, we had the official world premiere at Texas Frightmare, which it was my first time going. So much fun. I'm fairly new to the horror genre in that I'm in terms of going out and doing these events and stuff. That was my first one, and the horror fans are the best. High five to all of you.
The horror community is one of
really
the
are.
best. Yeah.
It's kind of messed up because it's a horror community, but it's like we love each other at the same time.
I mean, I'll
kill you, but I love you.
I've done a lot of appearances, and I've never had so much fun as at Frightmare. Everyone's so nice, and people were so excited about the film. We had a screening for it on Friday night and Saturday night. And Friday night, the theater was packed. There was maybe a few empty seats. Saturday night, it was crazy. There were people, like every seat was full. People were sitting in the aisles, in the front of the theater on the floor, in the back of the theater on the floor, leaning against the walls. There was a crowd outside who couldn't get in. Everyone was chanting, "We want the clowns." It was pretty fun. It was a great way to see the film for the first time, I have to say. Everyone should be that lucky to be in a film that was received that way.
I think that's a wonderful thing about the horror community, especially the reception I've heard for Dead Sea, which I believe is another one of yours as well. Right?
It is. This is true.
So you've certainly branched out into the horror scene quite aggressively. I mean, goddamn, that's what, a year and a half of work?
Yeah, it's true, huh? Yeah, and then, I mean, I think it all kind of started with Bad Kids Go to Hell. Even though that's a comedy horror, it's still in the...
It counts as a horror.
It was very good.
What's that?
It was very good.
Bad Kids is a fun one. It's I think it's not. If you're looking for a hardcore horror film, it's more. How would you? It's like a comedy, horror, sci-fi.
It's one of those that is a great intro horror for those who are not familiar to the genre. Yeah. My girlfriend's a fantastic example of someone who can't handle the really intense scares or the really intense gore, but
I don't watch scary movies, just FYI. I have overactive imagination. I've been watching some of them lately, especially the classics, sort of as research, really seeing what works. But I don't sleep at night. Like I have my imagination's already crazy. So now when I watch them, I really try to dissect them and be like, okay, I'm watching it for this. And when I look at it in a very sort of clinical, technical way, I can handle a little bit better.
Yeah, when we first started, I mean, obviously we've seen way too many movies to count, but it's once you approach a movie from a more technical standpoint, it becomes easier to cope with, like something like a movie we watched last night where a school bus full of children was slaughtered, and just observe that for like its elements of film, as opposed to being like, oh, that's fucked up, why, and then go to sleep at night and wake up tossing and turning. But Bad Kids Go to Hell was certainly not that. Yeah. It was still very good and effective, I thought, at building tension while still maintaining the comedic relief.
It was very kind of snarky and fun, and yeah.
It pokes fun at other movies.
I mean, absolutely.
I described it as the Breakfast Club on acid and a couple of shots of tequila.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I'm excited. We're getting ready to shoot part 2. Coming up really soon. In fact, I haven't had a chance to read the script yet. Tomorrow I'm supposed to have a day off, and if that happens, I look forward to reading it. I'm told the new script is very good.
Is Judd coming back?
Judd's back, I'm back, and Ben is back from part 1. I think there's one other surprise from part 1. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say anything, so...
It's
fine. The other cast announcements are pretty amazing, but they're in the final stages, so they'll be announcing them, I'd say, probably in the next week. We've got some really pretty amazing castmates joining, so I'm excited.
Besides yourself, of course.
It doesn't suck, no.
No, I said besides yourself.
Well, of course besides myself.
I was trying to pay you a compliment.
Like, no, that doesn't sound
good. Right. Edit it out. It'll be fine.
No.
It's all good.
All right. So, to get a little bit back on course here, we talked about Circus of the Dead. Now, I was digging up some interesting stuff about you. Did you train at the Groundlings?
I did. Yeah.
You know, I worked at the Groundlings for over 4.5 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did stage direction and sound design.
Wow. Yeah, I did. I studied there for a bit, and then
What time period?
10 years ago, I want to say. It could have even been.
You
I
must have
could have
just
even been. Actually, it was probably longer because it was when I first moved up here. It was probably closer to 15 years ago. And yeah,
Okay.
and I studied there for a while, and then I actually went from there to. If I don't have stuff right in front of me, and I've been working all day. I was there
It's all right.
to
It's all
Tom
right.
Brea, another improv place. I always have to look. I should have my resume in front of me so I can reference it. Anyway, from
Well,
Groundlings to
your resume.
I am going to pull up my resume because I can tell you. Just hold on. I'll let you know where I studied.
Oh no, it was
Yes,
Acme Comedy
exactly.
Theater.
That's where it was. And I actually enjoyed Acme much more, and I feel like I got more out of it. It was, I felt it was, I just like the environment better. I don't really know how to explain it. I got a lot more out of Acme. Not that I didn't learn a tremendous amount from Groundlings, because I did. Especially that was really my first foray and experience with improv at all. So from there, I was sort of primed a little bit by the time I went to Acme, and I really enjoyed Acme. And if I had, I'm studying right now at Scott Seditas, and if I had more time, I would love to take another improv class again. It's just not, time is precious right now.
Well, you're a busy girl. It's
Yeah.
just you've got so much going on right now. I don't even know if you need to right now at this point.
But I'm always about, when I'm in town, I really try to make it a point to be in class. And that being said, I've been gone nonstop, and I'm planning on going back next week because I think I'm here for at least a few weeks. So I try to go when I'm in town, even if it's just, once a month.
Fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it's important,
All right. So, well, yeah. I mean, you gotta keep your game up.
You gotta keep the skills up.
Especially, you switched from modeling to full acting. What was it, back in 2011?
I always wanted to act, and I started off acting, and the first few jobs I did, and I look back at it now, and damn, was I lucky. Like, one of the very first job I did was the lead in an independent, like, Disney-style family film called Waiting for the Rocket. And then after that, I auditioned for legendary director John Frankenheimer, and was offered a part literally I auditioned for him on the set and was offered a part on the spot in the film Wallace. And I worked opposite Gary Sinise and Mere Winningham, which now I'm like, oh my God, I was so young and I had no clue how. And then I did a pilot with Bill Murray called The Sweet Spot, and I worked with Andy Williams on another TV show for BBC. Like, I did all these in basketball for a month as one of the felon cheerleaders.
By the way,
Okay.
I knew that I'd recognized you from somewhere. I couldn't put my finger on it.
And then you saw
And
that
I've been
whip
looking
and
at,
that black leather getup, and you're like, that's Chanel.
I was like, that's Chanel Ryan. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, suffice to say that we have been fans for a very long time.
But I